Hello everybody. Today I thought we could do a homestead walkthrough summer edition to show you what's going on around here summertime. First thing we're going to go to is the garden. Lots of pepper plants. You see this dust on here? This is 7 dust because we've been dealing with some bug infestation here. And this is from bugs and grasshoppers, I think, is what causes this, which is an issue, but the 7 dust works really well. Just make sure you wash your veggies if you put that on there. But we have lots of peppers. We picked a bunch of them. We have a lot. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch down here that we could pick. Got a lot. Peppers, you got jalapenos, bananas, bells. I think that's it. And the tomatoes, we did not stake them up, which, looking at it now, we probably should have, because they're sitting on the ground cover and they're kind of rotting where they're sitting. But we have a lot of tomatoes, lots of green tomatoes. Pick from these all the time. Lots of tomatoes here. I planted, I'm trying to remember. I know I planted beefsteak, Romas, no cherries. We don't really like cherry tomatoes, but big slicer tomatoes, Cherokee purples. I think that's it. I don't really remember, but they're doing really well. Cucumbers. Just picked some huge cucumbers off of these. Got some broccoli. Broccoli didn't do very well this year. It bolted too early, so it never really made any good heads. Got some squash and cucumbers. Our okra. I planted a couple different varieties this year. We have regular green okra, some more peppers. Cabbage, which it's almost, there's a bug. It's almost ready to be picked. And then this is really cool. It's orange okra, and it has a really cool orange, which you can see right here, like red, different fruits on it, which is really cool. And where the tarp ends, the weeds begin. But we have a few things out here. We have a couple rows of cucumbers. It's just been so dry and then wet and then dry and then wet. Just not a very good garden year. We have some cucumbers, some pickling cucumbers, and a few row of slicing cucumbers. I don't know how well they'll do. And oh, eggplant. I don't see any eggplants on it. There's a lot of competition here. All the rest of this, to about that tall grass over there, is potatoes, which they won't be ready for a long time. And what we do with this type of thing is we just put the tiller on the back of the tractor and we just till it all up, and then we just pick out all the potatoes that come up out of it. Oh, spray your plants with it, and I have heard that before. Good.
Yeah, you gotta look and see. I can be looking at it when I don't see it.
This way, you got Porky. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? She loves her little mud pit. She should be bred. I don't know, we can't really tell right now. I think she was bred in May, so it's a little early to tell. But last time we couldn't tell if she was bred or not, because she didn't drop, like her teats didn't drop for a really long time. We didn't think she took because her attitude was really bad, which usually means that they go back into another heat. But that's just who she is. Because she was bred, but only one side took, so she only had 5 piglets. But they're hoping this time, since we know that now, that we might get a full litter. She loves the mud. Keep on walking. I'll take you to the dairy unit of the homestead. And I know it might be a little confusing from my last video. turning the chicken farm into the homestead. Well, that's my house actually, and I am going to be turning that into more of a homestead. But right now where we're at is my parents' house, which is about 5 seconds away from my house. So we just have everything down here right now because we already had all the infrastructure already here. So until I get my place set up a little bit better for things, we're just keeping everything down here for now. It's the calves. You made yourself a little mud hole here, I see. Nice. No, just sitting in the shade, except for you. Right in the sun. Okay. Enjoying the shade. This is our newest addition. These two. This is Penny. She was, and you'd see she's very skinny. She was really rough when we bought her. They were not taking care of her very well at all, so we don't know if she'll recover very well or not. She looks a lot better than she did. I've been feeding her really heavy, but we're not sure. And if not, I mean, she'll get to live out her days a lot happier than she was at least, but we're hoping that she makes a recovery enough that we can breed her again and keep her going. That's her calf. I think I found where the chickens are. They hang out. They just hang out all over the place. We let them roam free during the day, and they just go all around the homestead, but put them up at night, keep them protected. There's a bunch of them, and the rest of the cows. I don't know what happened to this tree. My dad said he noticed this morning. Not sure. It hasn't been windy or anything. Don't know what happened there. But you're wondering, how do you collect eggs from chickens that are roaming free? Let me tell you, in the beginning, we were finding them all over the place. But now we have a little little box, and you can see there's a couple of them in there laying right now. They've gotten to where they go right over here. What we did to make them go over here is we put some, put some plastic eggs in there so they would know to lay their eggs in here. But it's under the shade tree. They stay really cool. We also have the mules. They're not really used in the homestead, but, well, I don't use them, but they're just, oh, hello. So summertime on the homestead usually means the garden's going full force and animal upkeep. You've got to make sure everything's hydrated. And it's hay season, which I can show you a little bit of. I think we finally got it all baled pretty good. My dad does, but it's really, really hot. You gotta make sure to stay really hydrated when you're out doing stuff too. And show you, I'm taking some cuttings from these wild hummingbird flowers. I haven't done this before, but I'm gonna see if they work. Keep you updated. Oh man, kind of tough. Grabbed about 4 cuttings, and what I'm gonna do is just take this top node off and stick it in about, I don't know, this far in this dirt and see if it'll take. Let's go look at the bees. Oh, they're working like crazy. They love this summer heat. Everything else, maybe not, but the bees do. Got the hay here all going right now. You can see how brown it is out. It's just been so dry. We really need some rain. Interesting thing about the trees where the bees are is that the pecan trees around here are actually grafted, which I will show you. So this is a grafted pecan tree, and I believe right around this area is the grafting line. And what grafting is when you take a species, one species of tree as the root system, so you use that part for the root system, and then you graft another species onto that, and they actually kind of meld together and why he did this. The guy that owned this place, there's crows back there you could probably hear, but and look how big this tree is. He did this because the bottom half of this is a native pecan tree, but the top half is paper shell, which is not native to this area. And paper shell pecans are massive, just huge pecans, but they're not native to this area. So what he did was he took a native tree and grafted paper shells onto it so that they would actually survive. And there's a bunch of them around here, but look how big, and they produce huge pecans. So that's pretty neat because you can look at it and really see. I think this is one too over here. You can look at them and see someone took the time and effort to plant these and produce something different, and that's botany at work.